Something I've been considering for a little bit is like, I've been doing this new thing when I think about like theory and speculation. I've been kind of like wondering where the devs are coming from and what their end game is like mentally from a storytelling perspective with Final Fantasy VII, the Remake Saga. And I really like, so something dawned on me today. That what if we're all wrong? Now I am dying on that hill until it's exposed to be wrong in the game, that this is like a new time loop, and then they have knowledge from the previous time loops and all this other kind of stuff. That being said, I'm not changing that. But what if we are all wrong? What if what they are doing with Final Fantasy VII Remake's storyline is something that none of us see coming, because we have been so cleverly misdirected by some of the things they planted in the trailers? What if this truly is a remake of the original game? Now hear me out. Hear me out, right? Again, let me preface again before you all come at me on Twitter and in the comments section and everything, even on my own Discord. I love you guys. And I don't think you would, but I am not moving away from my original theory that this is cyclical time loops. Time loops is repeating, and Sephiroth and Aerith have gained information from that previous time loop. And even my Genesis theory that future Genesis told Sephiroth, and he remembers it from the previous time loop what Genesis told him. All this kind of stuff, okay? Put that over here, right? What if the game devs are coming out and being like, this is a remake? We are just reimagining all of Final Fantasy VII, and they're not doing it in a way where they're trying to course correct something or do something. They're just telling it different. They're just telling it different. Think, okay, so when they show the Whispers being destroyed, and then in the past Zack survives, what if they are just remaking the entire story? They're just changing stuff. It has nothing, like there's no time travel. There's no time loops. There's no nothing like that. This is just them taking a big jigsaw puzzle that is the original Final Fantasy VII and smashing the pieces on the floor, and taking all the compilation pieces and smashing that puzzle on the floor, and just making it all fit together in a new re-envisioning of Final Fantasy VII. What if? So all the stuff we're trying to figure out, is Zack alive? Is he dead? Is he passing through the afterlife? That, or, Sephiroth has been told by this, he can read this thing in the live stream, what happens in the future, and all this other kind of stuff. Throw all that out the window. Aerith knows stuff, Sephiroth knows stuff, because they've read it in the live stream. It could just be a new story element that they are plugging in, right? A version of Aerith in the live stream, a version of Sephiroth in the live. Throw all that out the window for just a second, and just consider the fact that the team is just rewriting the story. Instead of Zack dying this time, Zack survived. We don't know where he's at. It's not numerous timelines. It's not numerous time loops. It's not future and past, traveling back and forth, intersecting. It's none of that. The team is literally rewriting the story to throw us all off. Now, if that's true, it's going to piss a lot of people off, right? It's going to piss a lot of people off that think Zack should be dead and everything. But what it does do is a lot of the things that were supposed to happen in the future could still happen if they're just rewriting the story. They'll get there in a different way, but those things will still happen. Like Aerith might still die at the altar, at the Forgotten Capital. Cloud still gives Sephiroth the black materia. Meteor still summoned. The weapons away. All that other kind of stuff, which I think that stuff will probably happen anyway, even if it's not what this is. But consider it for a second. It really does defrag the brain and kind of makes you look at it a different way. If they're just saying, okay, this is what we did with the original Final Fantasy VII, What if we reimagined it and incorporated all these ideas we've had over the years? Now we have the time and budget to do it. Let's go back and make Final Fantasy VII how we originally wanted to make it. But let's throw some mysteries in there for the fans that are going to be watching it to give them something to talk about, something to think about. But we're just reimagining this game. It makes you think. And I need to think more about this. But like I said, I am completely on that hill, trying to hold the armies back, solo on the hill, that this is time loops, right? That is still my horse in the race. I still got the ticket. That is still my horse in the race, right? So everybody's placing their best guess. That's my best theory / speculation / guess, right? Guess. But what if? What if we're all just wrong? What if we're all just wrong? And they're just rewriting the story to fit in all the ideas they had back in the day. And they did say originally this was always planned to be the final piece of the compilation. Final piece of the compilation. So on that note, on that thought, Crisis Core Reunion would be the same thing, right? It would be a rewrite, if that's what we're getting. And we'll find out about that one much sooner than later because it comes out this winter. But it's a lot, you know, if you sit and think about it, if you sit and open your mind and try to think about what I just said, and take ego out of it, take your own ego out of it. Oh, that's not what I think. That's not what I think. I struggled with that, right? But I couldn't get this splinter out of my mind that they are just rewriting the story. What if that's what they're doing? Simple. It's simple. And Sephiroth and Aerith know so much just because they're reading the live stream. Now, I know there's a lot of stuff out there, you know, there's another Aerith in the live stream, all this other, you know, bullshit that's been written, you know, all other crazy stuff you have to absorb in the different books and stuff about Final Fantasy VII to know all these other theories. Throw that out the window for a second. They could explain that in the story if they're rewriting it. They've already written it on paper if that's what they're doing. Like they already know how they're going to explain their way out of that. So, food for thought. Food for thought. I will be in a place later this week where I will be able to talk more in depth about this idea. It's not my theory, it's just an idea, right? And it's probably wrong. It's probably wrong. But it's something for you all to think about. It's something for you all to think about. I mean, it would be a way for Square Enix to be like, well, we didn't troll you. We showed you these elements that are actually happening. But we didn't just come out and tell you what's going on because we're telling you a story. And they're being very cinematic about it. They're treating this like their big Star Wars, Lord of the Rings trilogy, right? That's what they're treating Final Fantasy VII like, because that's their golden egg, right? If they were going to do that with any story, it would be this one. It would be this one. So, anyway, something for you all to think about. And I'm going to leave it at that for now. Because my brain's starting to I'm starting to get a little bit of a headache thinking about it. But anyway, y'all have a great night. Be safe, be good to each other, keep rocking. And I'll have more content coming this week to be sure. Please subscribe to the channel, throw a like on the video, and consider becoming a YouTube or Patreon member. And I will see you all next time. Take care, guys. I want to say a quick thank you to my YouTube and Patreon members and supporters. If you would like to support the future creation of content on this channel and get some few extra perks and some art sent to your door every month, consider becoming a Patreon or YouTube member. Details and links are in the video description.